Hi everyone, Scott Schweiger back with another Tuesday tax tip. Last week we stepped into the sharing economy again and learned about experience rentals via Airbnb and VRBO, amongst the other options out there. This week, let's talk about those traditional ones. There's a lot here, so I will do my very best to keep it brief. Now, the proper tax treatment of your Airbnb VRBO or other rental. Again, we'll just go with rentals as the catch-all, okay? Can have some quirks. Those experience rentals were always Schedule Cs, but with traditional ones, they can be a Schedule C or a Schedule E. So, how do we determine which schedule to use? In general, this is determined by the level of service that you offer your guests. Typically, you'll report these rentals on a Schedule E, but if you offer substantial services, then you should use a Schedule C. Those services would be something like changing the bedding daily, providing fresh towels daily, or providing breakfast or other meals. This is full meals, not just snacks. From here, we have a few avenues to touch on. Like if your average stay is 7 days or less, you need to abide by the short-term rental rules. And if you use the rental unit personally, then you have to contend with the vacation home rules. And if you're a real estate professional or trying to qualify as one, time spent on a vacation or short-term rental, not going to help you. So it's typically best not to group your Airbnb or VRBO with traditional rental activity without talking to your tax advisor. A handy loophole for you guys is the 14-day rule. If you only have 14 days or less of rental activity, then you have non-reportable income. Of course, this also means you've got no expenses to claim, but that's not so much of an issue since you have no income to claim that against. A great example of this is good old Green Bay, Wisconsin. The homes there are frequently rented out for Packer games during the NFL season. This is particularly the case for homes that are very close to Lambeau Field. There's never more than 14 days of home games in a year, so as long as the residents don't rent out for any other days, there's no reportable income generated. And yes, this is a thing that actually happens. So documentation and substantiation of your rental activity is crucial in case the IRS comes poking around, especially for those mixed use units. Things you definitely need are keeping track of your business and personal use so that you can properly allocate expenses based on that. Of course, if you do have an expense that is solely for the rental, you're okay to 100% allocate that to the business. For example, you can have specific bedding or cleaning supplies which are only used in the rental activity. That's fine to be 100% allocated to the business use. Good records will show that you are treating the rental like it's a business and it's not some hobby or something else. Because if you have a loss, you can't take a loss on a hobby. Sorry. Keeping detailed documentation and substantiation of any personal use and business related expenses, again, just goes that one step further to prove that you are treating it as a business and you have the answers if the IRS comes asking questions. To assist with tracking, Airbnb and VRBO do have some very handy annual recaps for you to use, and they will also issue you a 1099. These can be very useful in making sure you're claiming all of your income and the associated platform fees on your return. Though, don't solely rely on this information to prepare your taxes, as additional records demonstrate that you are treating the business as a business, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on some other deductions. So keep in mind that this is not an exhaustive list of all of the elements for determining the proper tax treatment of your Airbnb or VRBO or any of the others. This is merely a quick peek at some of your vital considerations. Obviously, how this tip is going to impact you will depend on your particular set of facts and circumstances, like if you have an Airbnb, a VRBO, or some other type of rental. So if you have specific questions, please reach out to your tax advisor or feel free to contact me. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you join me next week for another Tuesday Tax Tip.